This is the Russian Dynamite, Masha Slamovich.
Becca here.
This is Not America's Sweetheart, Davian. And
It's Billy Starks. And
the super fly guy, Trayvon Jordan.
This is the fly side flyer, Jalen Brandon.
Hardcore Princess, Jules Malone.
Hi there, this is the Bubblegum Princess, Alexia Nicole.
This is the Brazilian Wonder Woman, Christy Jane.
This is the baddest black belt, Chennai Kai.
This is Kid Bandit.
The smash hit Joel Bateman.
This is Robin Renegade.
Cody Hawk.
Brutal Bob Evans. And you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment, one of my favorite podcasts in the whole wide world.
Hi, this is the Pinoy Supernova, Isaiah Valencia from Puso Wrestling, and you're listening to Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hello, and welcome to the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today, the trusted choice for interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I am, of course, your host, James J., and it's a great day for wrestling, because we are wrestling with the Pinoy Supernova, Isaiah Valencia.
Hello. Thank you for having me on. Thank you for everybody listening. I am glad to have this experience. This is my first podcast interview, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm glad to have this interview with you. Yeah.
And we're always happy to be the first. And can you tell us what you have coming up next event-wise?
Coming up next event-wise, honestly, the Puso calendar is not here yet. We don't have any announced shows just yet. As for our friends, DexCon, and I believe WrestleStorm is happening already before this is released. After that, we have World Underground Wrestling for April 6, I believe. Oh no, April 5, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So I don't know if I'm on it, but that's an event to look forward to. And we're gonna have our shows as well. Eventually, we're gonna announce them for Puso Wrestling. But while we don't have any shows, we still have actually Puso Wrestling live streams on our YouTube channel. It's like every other Saturday. We announce it on our Facebook page, but yeah, it's almost every other Sunday rather. Every other Sunday, we have Puso Wrestling live streams. I'm always on them, so if ever you guys want to watch me wrestle and the other Puso stars wrestle, we're always on the live stream every other week or so.
Alright, and where can we find you on social media as well?
Right, so on social media, on Facebook, you can just find me, Isaiah Valencia. On Instagram and TikTok, you can also find me at Isaiah Valencia PW. Not on Twitter. I don't have a Twitter account yet. Or X, rather, sorry. I don't have an X account. They have a weird subscription thing. I haven't gotten to it yet. But yeah, I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Facebook. You can just find me, Isaiah Valencia, or at Isaiah Valencia PW. It should lead you to me.
And where can we find merchandise?
Oh, no, unfortunately, right now, I do not have merchandise. Yeah. But, we have a lot of merch for Puso. That's shout out to the Nutcase. So they have a lot of merch for Puso. There are merch providers right there. Should talk to them about my merch. But yeah.
All right. Well, you don't have to go looking for it. All of the links to all his social media will be in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox. Alright, let's get into it. You work for Puso Pro Wrestling. Can you tell us about your relationship with the company?
Well, the relationship with the company, it's not just my relationship. I believe like most everybody there is pretty close with a lot of each other. It's I would say it's a really tight bond going on because Puso Wrestling, it did start for pro wrestlers by pro wrestlers, and so that was the venture that we went into. We all started Puso Wrestling together, and so far I think we've done a lot, and I think we've done a lot together, and it's really been fulfilling almost a year now we're coming up to 1 year for Puso Wrestling. It's like a few months away, I guess. Yeah, it's been a great experience, and we're hoping to grow bigger and bigger.
All right. Well, I mean, you had more recently a big match against Jomar. You picked up the victory at the last show, I believe. Can you tell us about that match?
Right. Yeah. So going into that, right? He had this whole rivalry thing with this dispute with Patricia Ligaia with the battle royal. He got eliminated. Patricia won. He was complaining. He was saying, "Oh, I didn't get the prize money," right? So I stepped in because I saw this. This was like unfair, and then he got a tag partner. So for our second ever show, we had a tag match. It was him and Crystal versus me and Patricia. So unfortunately, I did take the L there. I lost, but he did spit in my face. He misted my face. So it was kind of in a cheesy way. So I didn't and stop. Patricia decided to hand over the money. And my brain, he doesn't deserve this. Because he cheated. He cheated, right? He cheated. So I used it. I used it for food. and I left him like 20 pesos. That became the whole. Everybody was hanging on to that 20 pesos bit, but it was more than 20 pesos. It was about the respect, honestly. So Jomar hung on to that. Jomar wanted to fight me, and I wanted to fight him, right? So we had a match, right? I know Jomar. Jomar has been here a long time. He's a veteran, essentially, and I fought like hell. Jomar is an incredible wrestler, incredible competitor, and you know what? That night I was a better man. I showed off my skills. I showed what I was capable of. I did new things. I did a flying elbow drop. Did a win. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So it was a fun match. Afterwards, I think I gained his respect. And I think he gained my respect also.
What did it kind of mean to you to get that W? Because obviously, Jomar is well known in the Pinoy scene.
Can you repeat the question? Sorry.
What did that mean to you to kind of get his respect? Because he is unknown name in the Pinoy wrestling.
Yeah. Right at that point, so when I started, right, and I debuted quite fast. I would say I trained for like a month before I debuted. I debuted like 2022. Right, as white shirt, and I won at the end of that year. And like for a while, I was like, what, for 2-3 years? Honestly, it's just I was always the up and coming rookie, so to speak. I was always the rising star,
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like last year at that end, right, it was time to prove myself that I'm not just a rookie. I'm not just a rising star. I am a star, right? I deserve a spot at the top. And, I think I've proven myself a lot over the years, and I think I'm reaching the level that I deserve a lot more opportunities and a lot more opportunities for myself and a lot more things coming my way. And so that match against Jomar, I did have something to prove because Jomar is a veteran, and as you said, he's been a well-known name in the Pinoy wrestling scene. So I wanted to prove to myself, to the people, and to all the wrestlers, I'm not just a rookie anymore. I am at the level that is undeniable. And that's why I want to be the Pinoy Supernova, because I'm not just a rising star. I am an exploding star on the scene. That is who I am. And I think getting that win has solidified that moment for me.
Now, you did mention, how the rivalry started between you and him. And it was, stepping up for, Patricia. I did have a conversation with Patricia last week, and from her perspective, you were getting into her business. Why was that?
Oh, okay. All right. Me and Patricia are very good friends. All right. Okay. I will not dispute that maybe I did get into Patricia's business. That didn't ask for it, but for me, I saw injustice. I saw a guy basically demanding something he didn't deserve. I wanted to step in, but I've learned my lesson. She didn't need it. She didn't need it at that point, but I needed to do something. I felt like I needed to do something, but I've learned, I don't need to do something all the time. She can handle it on her own.
And from her perspective, she would appreciate that.
Yes, I know. We have talked about it.
All right, so we have that settled now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But going back to the beginning of Puso Pro Wrestling, you had the distinct honor of wrestling Nigal San Jose in the first round of the tournament to crown the first ever Puso Pro Wrestling champion. Obviously a lot to unpack there. Let's start with, obviously wrestling Nigal. Obviously, a big name, the first ever white short trainee, and just all around, Pinoy suplex machine, as they call him. What was that experience wrestling him?
Right. So not only is Nigal a popular name in the pro wrestling scene, Nigal is one of my mentors, one of my coaches, and my team member with Barangay Bagsakan. Let's not forget that. So, going into it, it was kind of a friendly bout, but it also, it was a serious match. It was for a shot to become the inaugural Pinoy Wrestling, Pusong Pinoy Wrestling champion, right? So, it's a big challenge because I know what Nigal is capable of as who he is, as one of the head coach, as my mentor, and I train with him all the time, so I definitely know what was in store for me. But I think he did pull off a lot more in that match than I knew. So we still had some tricks up his sleeve, but yeah, it was a hard fought battle. I expected it. I really wanted to get the win there, but I'm not surprised because at that point I was still trying to prove myself, so to speak. Now, Nigal has already proved a lot, but I think he could, I was rooting for him, honestly. After beating me, I wanted him to win, but that's a different story on its own. But yeah, it was a great match. It was a hard-fought match. I was so tired after. I planned to be on my head, but after that, no hard feelings. It's wrestling. Sometimes you gotta face each other. But it was a great experience for me. It was a great learning experience for me as well. It helped me grow. He brought me to a different level I haven't been before as a pro wrestler. Yeah.
And obviously, being in the tournament to crown the first ever champion, that's an honor in itself. What did it kind of mean to you to be chosen and selected to be in that tournament?
Yeah. Sorry, can you repeat the question? Sorry.
What did it mean to you to be in the tournament?
Right. Like you said, it was a great honor to be part of the tournament for the inaugural Pinoy Wrestling Champion, right? So it was a big honor, and to it did give me a little bit of validation for what I've been doing as for the past 2 years at that point as a pro wrestler. So, to be at that level as a rookie for 2 years of experience, I think for me is a big deal. It validated my experiences, validated me as a professional wrestler, that I do have the skills. They saw me, they trusted me that that I could hang. They saw me as a potential guy for that position, and I'm grateful to have the trust, that honor, and you know what? If I don't think I let them down. I think right now at this point, I think I'm still proving myself, and I'm still showing that I am doing my best and I'm continuing to improve.
Definitely, for sure.
Yeah.
That being said, can you tell us about that time you got choked out by a hot dog?
Right, yeah. So, we were just training. I think it was me. I believe Joey was there also. I was busy on my phone. Coach Nige was in a hot dog costume on. It just choked me out. I was busy. I wasn't listening to him. I was doing something else. He choked me out for it. I couldn't remember much after. All I saw was the video. Honestly, but I probably deserved it. I was using my phone in the middle of training.
Right. But obviously, Nigel, the first white shirt, you had the honor of also wearing a white shirt as well. I know that there are different colors for different trainees. So did that mean something to you to wear that shirt?
Yeah, when they told me to wear a white shirt, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it was before or after my match. They told me the significance of it. They told me that Nigel was the first white shirt, and they told me that the white shirts of the past. I believe there was another one before me. I'm not familiar with him, but they told me that all the white shirts, they have a really high skill level. They have, they essentially, it was given to them or bestowed upon them to show that they have faith in the ability of this rookie, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to me, when I heard that, it was a lot of pressure, right? Because at that moment, right, me as a white shirt, with all the other shirts at that point, I felt like I had the most pressure on myself because of the significance of the white shirt, the expectations of the kind of performance, the kind of fight that I would put up at a level as a rookie, right? So it's a lot of pressure on me as a rookie, but yeah, it also really did mean a lot to gain that trust, to have that white shirt, because it told me, essentially, they told me that they trusted my capabilities, they trusted my skills, and they saw that I could be great, and that is what I am trying to set out to do right now. So, and at that moment, I think I did live up to the expectations that they put on me. So, yeah, it was a great honor. There was a lot of pressure, but I think I handled it pretty well.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And when you did actually graduate to get your own name, what was that moment like for you?
Right. The biggest challenge for me at that point in my career, because I was fighting Pinoy Bulldog, right, for my match where I graduated. I was fighting Pinoy Bulldog, who has been a veteran since the 90s. He was wrestling in the first like Pinoy wrestling. The name of the entity was Pinoy Wrestling. So it was part of it. So he's been like a wrestler for a really long time. So that match also in itself, additionally, just the pressure of the white shirt. Now you had the pressure of this veteran Pinoy Bulldog. So going into it, I knew I had a fight. I knew I needed to up my game, like by a lot. And it was an honor to fight the veteran, and it was an honor for them to put me in a match with the veteran. So I'm glad they saw that in me, and I'm glad I was able to fight Pinoy Bulldog, and I proved myself against him. I proved myself as white shirt at that point, and I fought hard and I got my win, and I'm forever grateful to have that match. Forever grateful to have had that match against Pinoy Bulldog, and it was a very fulfilling moment that night.
Now, you are 3 years into the business. All of these opportunities that you've gotten, everything that we've been talking about, what does it kind of mean to you to get all of this success so early on in your career?
I always credit my abilities to my coaches, right? So first, it's whenever, I wouldn't be at the level I am right now without my coaches. So that's, Nigal San Jose and Fabio Makisig. So, that's a big shout out to them. They help out like the roster so much. They help out us so much. So but I also recognize that I do have the abilities and the skill to be performing at this level and to be getting all the opportunities that I am getting, and it means a lot to me. It shows me like I said, I've been repeating what I've been saying, but it's all been a validating experience for me as a pro wrestler, because I am still figuring out a lot of who I am as a pro wrestler, all of what I can do. And like I said, I am still continuously improving, and to be getting all these opportunities has been a blessing. And I've been grateful to have these opportunities, that they trust me to have these opportunities. And I'm just having fun then also, I'm just having a lot of fun with Puso right now, having a lot of fun with the live streams also, I'm looking forward to all the events that we're gonna have, and hopefully there's something bigger in store for me, but we'll see.
And speaking about Fabio, you did have the honor of wrestling him as well, and I believe in a ring with chain ropes. Can you tell us about that match?
Yeah, so World Underground Wrestling, right, is another company with a presence here in the Philippines. They have chain ropes in their matches. They have chain ropes for all their matches, all their shows. Or depends. Sometimes they don't have ropes, but for the last show, there was chain ropes. And you know what? Me and Fabio, we went in. The rules were only submission and knockout. So we went in. We wrestled each other like crazy. It was like a lot of it was a lot of grappling, a lot of struggle, a lot of strikes. I fought like hell because he is one of the head coaches of the roster, and I wanted to prove myself to him that I can hang. It was a little bit of maybe it was a little bit of an ego thing, but I had something to prove to him, and he was testing me.
Right.
He was testing me. But I did lose. But I put up a fight, and to him that was enough. For me though, I wish, obviously the goal is always to win. And I didn't want to just pass his test. I also wanted to win, to actually show that I can be a competitor at his level. Maybe I still have a ways to go, but that night I proved something to him. He said I passed. I think I still have a lot more room to improve. I still have a lot to fight to show, and yeah, that's always the goal. That's always the goal. No matter at what level, goal is always to be better than who I am yesterday.
Obviously, he is your coach as well. I believe he even said he raised you in Pinoy wrestling. So what is your relationship with Fabio?
Right. Yeah. So, Fabio Makisig is pretty much like my coach, right? So, when I first got my first entry into Pinoy wrestling was through Fabio Makisig's pro wrestling prep course, PWPC, as we called it, as the students, so to say, of PWPC called it. So, it was started in the pandemic. We eventually we had home workouts. And eventually, when things were opening up, he invited us to train at Brolpit Bulusan, and he was leading all of my trainings along with Nigal San Jose, and he's been there at every step of the way of me as a pro wrestler. So I am forever grateful to Fabio Makisig, and I would not be here. I always tell this to him, right? So naturally he keeps telling me, right? He keeps telling me naturally I have the athletic capabilities for that. And I always tell him, I wouldn't be like this if I didn't have a good coach. Right? So yeah, that shows you how much of a good coach Fabio Makisig really is. And he has helped me at every single step of the way up to this point right now. And he's still helping me. He's still helping me improve, helping everyone improve in the roster. So, Fabio Makisig, not just to me, I think he means a great deal to the entire roster as well as, probably the entire Pinoy wrestling scene. Yeah.
Definitely.
That's why, I felt like I really wanted to prove something to him.
Definitely. And I'm sure that there's going to be more matches down the line between the two of you for sure.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
Until then, I think it's a great way segue to Isaiah's bizarre adventure. You're a pro wrestler that goes up and down the roads, and weird, crazy, and bizarre things are bound to happen. Can you tell us a road story that fits that description?
Ooh. All right, let me think. Yeah. Okay, well, that's this is a recent one. This is the only one I can remember right now. It's not like a super crazy experience. It's just different, right? It's not weird, but it's just different. Recently we wrestled at Mata Expo. It's basically a convention for deaf people, right? Or people who are hard of hearing. So we had a booth there, and we had morning and afternoon matches at that place. And it was just a different experience because you don't hear the noise, right? You can't hear the noise of the crowd, and their noise is visual. They have a different hand sign for their applause, right? So it was a different experience, but it was honestly really fun interacting with them as well. So we're trying to do more shows like that, get out to different kinds of people. But it was it was a different experience, but we would 100% do it again.
All right. Well, another thing you'd like to do over again. You were on a talk show with Patricia at one point. I believe it was Jigo Live.
Yeah, Jigo Live. Wow, that's really way back. That's my first year. Yeah.
What was that experience like?
Right. So that was that was one of I think that was my first interview in a radio show. Right. I was still white shirt at that. Oh, was I still white shirt at that point? Yeah, I think I was still white shirt at that point. Right. So Jigo had us on. Sir Jigo is a friend of the industry of us Puso Wrestling as well, and he has us pro wrestling stars on his talk show. It was my first interview. I was so nerve wracked because I had no idea what to do, what to say, and I don't know if I was gonna do well, say the right things, but I think it was okay. I think I did fine for a first interview. That was my first year. Yeah, it was. Yeah, the first interview. I think I did fine.
How did that kind of come about? Was Fabio like, go on and do this, or did they come to you, or how did you get that? How did that get set up?
I'm not sure if he approached the team first and asked if anyone wants to do it, or if he asked us specifically. He might have asked for us specifically, but I'm not sure. All I know is he approached the team, right, and the team told us that we had an interview at this time, at this day, and we just said okay. So we were free.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, can you tell us about lost my notes here. Can you tell us about Mega Sound 8000?
Oh, wow, Mega Sound 8000. Right. Mega Sound 8000 is an album by one of my friends, his band. He's the drummer. The band's called Maruchi Slugger. They're a band here in the Philippines. Mega Sound 8000 is their first EP that they released. And the first track of that, they have 3 tracks. It's Wonder, Please Don't Try This at Home, and Time, Time, Time. The first track, Wonder, is actually my wrestling theme. That's why I love that song so much. I love the entire EP. I was telling him, right, my friend, because he's always had these aspirations to play in a band, and I've always had these aspirations to be a wrestler, right? So I was telling him all the time, hey, once you get an EP out or once you get a song out, I want to use that for my theme. So it took a lot of time. I think their EP was in the works for like a year or two. So they released it, and hey man, I want to use this as my song. So he talked to his band, they talked to each other, and they said, it was alright. So I'm grateful to Maruchi Slugger, grateful for them to have me use their song. You know, yeah. So shout out to them, Stream Maruchi Slugger, Stream Mega Sound 8000, and listen to all their songs. It's fun. It's a fun listen.
All right. Now, can you tell us about your love of the Game Boy Advance?
Where did you get this? What? Okay. Yeah. What? Okay. All right. Growing up, me and my brother, we had a Game Boy Advance. I don't know how many games we had exactly. It's all a blur to me right now because it was a childhood. But the only thing that really stood out to me was we had Pokemon Sapphire, right? So we had Pokemon Sapphire, and I really love Pokemon. At least for the first gens. I'm not super updated with it right now. I played a lot of the trading card game Pocket when it came out, but anyways, let's go back. Yeah, so me and my brother had the Game Boy Advance, and I played a lot of Pokemon Sapphire. And the thing I remember the most was picking Torchic, leveling up that Torchic, and leveling it up to a level 100 Blaziken. So, finished that game. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was a lot of memories for me. That Game Boy Advance, me and my brother would just play together, or I just watch him play, depending on who's playing. So yeah, there's a lot of memories with the Game Boy Advance.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you have NSYNC the game?
Have what?
NSYNC the game, the band NSYNC.
Oh, I don't think I've ever had that. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were primarily Pokemon.
Yeah, but I think that was the only Pokemon I played at that point, growing up. So I was only aware of Pokemon like through other media, but for games, honestly, it was just that one. I've always been fond of Pokemon, but for games, I think it was always that one growing up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, have you tried more recent gaming consoles like a Switch or?
Oh, I don't. Unfortunately, I don't have a Switch. I've always wanted to try Switch. There's a lot of Nintendo exclusive games I really want to play, but I don't have money for a Switch right now. So eventually I'll get one. They're coming out with a Switch 2, I believe. So hopefully the Switch 1's gonna be cheaper. So
Fair enough.
Yeah. Hopefully I got one so I can play the other Nintendo games. But yeah.
Well, let's get into the colossal question. Let's say they're making a movie about you. Every movie has a soundtrack. What would be the first 3 songs on your movie soundtrack?
Ooh. All right. Let me think about this. One of the songs I listened to a lot while training at the start, is "All I Want" by A Day to Remember. So that's one.
Okay.
So hard-hitting song. It's just it's just a song to essentially. It's just telling you to go get what you want, right? Go get what you want. Go do what you want to do. Yeah, so that's one. Another one is, I think, You're Gonna Go Far Kid by The Offspring. That's another one. So, last song. Let me think. This is hard. This is a hard question. Alright. Let's see. I think another one. I don't know. Maybe I just want to put something by Green Day. This is the first thing I thought of. It's Jesus of Suburbia. Comes from their Green Day album. It's all about leaving home and wanting to do big things, right? So, a lot of themes of doing big things, going for going for your dreams, right? But that's all about who I am.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Now that we have the soundtrack down, everybody knows you get the soundtrack first, then you write the script, and then you go to casting. Who plays you? And you can't say yourself because you are obligated to make a Stan Lee-esque cameo.
Okay. Okay. Who plays me? Huh. It's hard. I'm not familiar with a lot of actors right now. There's nobody on the top of my head. I'm gonna think about that for a while. I don't know. Let's say let's say Chris Pratt, right? Okay. Right. I don't know, because I want someone to have the to get that goofy personality that I think I have the high spirited personality, also Chris Pratt looks great. So why wouldn't I want to look great in my film, right? So get him, right? I don't know if it looks like me though. It's gonna be a hard like my face. I don't think we look alike, but we'll have to work on that. Yeah.
Hey, if you want him to play you, it's your movie.
I'm gonna get him, yeah.
Now that we have you casted, every movie has a supporting cast. Who would be 3 people with meaning to you and your story that would be in your movie, and who would play them?
Okay. Ooh, I don't know who would play them. All right, one is. Damn, this is hard. Can I pick 4 people?
Yes, you can pick 4 people.
All right. Okay. All right. One would be. There's two that I can't leave out. Right. Actually, none of these I can't leave out. So the first 2 are gonna be Fabio and Nigel. Right.
Okay.
Because you can't have Isaiah Valencia right now without my 2 coaches who have guided me along the way through all the things that we've done, right? So I need them. I need to have them in my film. I need to have that because they are my development, right? Second is Joey Rosas, one of my best friends. The first real best friend that I made in pro wrestling. So we did a lot of vlogs early on in both of our careers. I spent a lot of time at his place, like going home after shows, after training. So I don't think it would be a good call to leave him out of my story because he's been a big part of it and he's still a big part of it right now. And lastly would be Patricia Ligaia, because she has been supportive with me also from the start up until now, and I can't leave her out of my story because she's been a big support in all of the aspects and a big factor in my growth as a person also. So yeah, I would say those are the 4.
All right, and we're leaving it up to casting, correct?
Yeah, I can't pick up the casting right now. I can't pick up it right now. Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. It's sounding like a great movie, a blockbuster to say the least, and you could pre-order the tickets now.
Yeah. I'm gonna make the cameo. Yeah, you gotta look out for that.
Now onto a controversial subject. Pineapple on pizza. What's your stance?
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I don't. You know, I don't know why. No, I get. I think I kind of get why. It's a different texture, different flavor that you'd expect on a pizza. For me, I like putting a lot of different stuff on my food. Honestly, pineapple on pizza is probably the tamest thing for me. So, I love pineapple on pizza, man. I love pineapple. I love pizza. Put them together. I love them both. Sure.
Alright, so definitely pro pineapple on pizza.
Definitely, yeah.
Alright, what's your spirit Pokemon?
Spirit Pokemon, huh? My spirit Pokemon. Honestly, I'm just gonna go with my favorite Pokemon. Although I don't do a lot of kicks like he does, like this Pokemon does, I'm just gonna go Blaziken, right? Because his red hot colors, red hot. It's just fire, man. Uh, just like a Pokemon that just fights all the time. It just looks like he's gonna fight for everything. Also my favorite Pokemon. Like I said, I leveled him up to 100, so I feel like connected to Blaziken a lot.
I
So
got you.
I would pick Blaziken for me. Yeah.
Now, weirdest question you'll be asked on a wrestling interview, hopefully. Would you ever
Okay.
consider wrestling a rock? Not Dwayne Johnson, not the country, an actual physical rock.
Hey man, if the pay's good enough, sure, give me a lot of money for it. I'll do it. I could probably put that much on it. I could make it entertaining, I think.
I mean, hey, The Rock, Fabio said he'd sooner wrestle a Rock than Chelsea Marie, so that Rock has a queue in the Pinoy wrestling scene right now.
You know what? Put him up against the roster. I think everybody would have a good match with that Rock.
Just for context, there is a wrestler named Psycho Mike that indeed wrestled a Rock for over 15 minutes in a Tungsten Man
Whoa.
match. That's an Iron Man
Okay.
match that lasts for 2 weeks.
Okay. Props to him and the Rock. Not the Rock, but that Rock.
Right.
Right.
I mean, speaking of which, Chelsea Marie, your thoughts on Chelsea? Everybody I've spoken to has not necessarily been, let's say, favorable towards her.
You know what? If you asked me this like a year ago, I'd given all the positive words with Chelsea, but Chelsea was part of Barangay Bagsakan with me and Nigal San Jose. But nor what I think second show ever, he betrayed essentially Nigel and Fabio. Gave him both a low blow. Turned to their group, Mr. C's group of talents or whatever. Yeah. It's just a shame, It's just a shame because Chelsea's a great performer. I'm not gonna take that away from her. Chelsea is a great performer. She's solidified main eventer. She's main evented like 2 of our shows so far. But personality-wise, she showed her true colors. She showed her arrogance. Obviously, just showed her she's just a backstabber. I don't want to deal with that. I would like to say I'm a lot of anger. Right now, I don't really care right now about her. I'm not that fond of her right now. Ask me a year ago, I'd give all the positive words about Chelsea, but show their true colors. You know, Barangay Bagsakan, me and Nigal San Jose. Honestly, we've been thriving as a tag team. We are better off without her. So yeah, that's what I feel.
Okay. And on a more serious note, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Myself in 5 years, I mean, if I continue the way I've been going, I am confident enough that I would say, or I would be on the main event level, right? And I'm not there right now. I'm gonna be admitting of that. I'm humble enough to recognize that I still have a lot of ways to go to become that main eventer. But right now, I am still the Pinoy Supernova, and I'm going to continue to prove that to everybody watching, everybody who's expecting something from me, everybody who's not expecting something from me. I want to prove it to everyone, and I want to continuously improve so that in 5 years, I will be a main eventer and hopefully, maybe a championship. Right? That's always the goal, and here's hoping maybe I am a champion in 5 years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now, imagine somebody coming up to you and saying, I want to know what you are all about as a pro wrestler. What match from you would you show them that best shows you off as a pro wrestler?
I think there's two matches that I would say I want to show them, right? So it's two matches that I am proud of my fighting ability and what I did in the ring. The first one would be my recent match against Jomar. So I think I showed a lot of fight in that. I showed a lot of my heart in that, and I had something to prove against Jomar as well. And number two, which would be my match in 2023. Yeah, 2023 against CJ Serafin, now Serafin Lumanag, but at the time CJ Serafin at Noche Buena when I faced them. That one was more hate fueled rivalry, I would say, but that match it was a match where I just wanted to throw everything at CJ, give him everything I got. So, both matches I want to show those people to show what I'm all about, what my heart is all about when I'm in that ring. And I think those two matches would show the heart and my fight, what I can give while I'm in that ring. So, yeah, I would show both of those matches. Either one of them, yeah.
Can we find those on YouTube?
Yeah, you can find those on YouTube. You can just search that up. The Isaiah Valencia versus Jomar match is on YouTube on Puso Wrestling, the Puso Wrestling's YouTube channel. Isaiah versus CJ one, I think, is there somewhere. I'm not sure, but yeah, I think it's up there somewhere.
Alright. And if they are indeed on YouTube, I will grab them, the link to them, and I will put them in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox for anybody that hasn't seen them, wants to see them, wants to re-see them after this interview.
Alright, thanks for that.
Absolutely. And since we are nearing the conclusion of this interview, we are wrestling with the 8 questions of doom.
Oh, okay. All right.
This is our speed round, our bonus round, the round where we see who you really are. Are you ready?
Okay. All right.
Excluding yourself, greatest wrestler of all time.
Ooh. I'm sorry. Okay. I knew this was supposed to be a speed round. Okay.
Wow,
right.
First question.
All right. I'm sorry. I blanked. All right. Fabio Makisig, I would say. Honestly, in the Philippines, Fabio Makisig.
Worst wrestler.
Worst wrestler. Sarah Finiwanag, because I hate him. Right. Sarah Finiwanag.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't like him. Yeah. Yeah.
Your main eventing WrestleMania for the World Championship. Who is your opponent?
Dream match. Maybe Nigal San Jose. That would be great. Yeah.
If you could come out to anyone's entrance music, past or present, who would it be?
Honestly, I love mine, so I'm just gonna pick mine. Wonder by Marucci Slugger. Please stream it.
Well, let's say there's they didn't get the rights. There was a problem with copyrights, or they couldn't get the CD to the venue in time. What would you pick in case as a backup?
Anyone's song.
Anyone's entrance music, past or present.
All right. I'd probably Edge's theme Metalingus. It's it's my favorite. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Finish the sentence. Kayfabe is
What? I don't know what that is.
okay. Well,
All right.
it's something that you put on toast. Let's agree.
Okay.
Let's agree for that.
All right. Okay. Okay.
I just wanted to know, but clearly you don't. So yeah, let's move on. Squash, vegetable or fruit?
I think it's a vegetable. Actually, I don't have an opinion. I think that's just a vegetable, right?
Is that your final answer?
I guess, yeah.
It is indeed a fruit.
Okay. I guess I'm wrong. Okay.
It has seeds. Tomato logic.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh. All right.
New Japan wrestler Tai Chi. His ring gear gets smaller every year, revealing more of himself to the world. My question, what is the appropriate trunks to butt cheek ratio for ring gear?
Trunks to butt cheek ratio. I think you could get away with 60% trunks, 40% butt cheek. Maybe 50-50, or or whatever you want. I think it's fine. For me, I would go 60-40. That's the farthest I would go.
Okay, so 60-40.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the last question, the main event, the thing everybody wants to know. Have you ever had a conversation with a stranger in a supermarket about Darby Allin?
No, I have not.
And that is the correct answer. And that will conclude this interview. Thank you so much for coming on and doing this with me.
All right, thank you so much for having me. I'm grateful to have this interview with you. Yeah.
And grateful to have you on as well. Once again, can you tell us where we can find you on social media?
All right, social media, you can find me Isaiah Valencia on Facebook and at Isaiah Valencia PW on Instagram and TikTok. So thank you everybody for listening. Yeah.
And you
can find me there.
And you don't even have to type it into your Google machines. All of the links to all his social media will be in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox. Simply click the link. A new tab will appear on whatever device you are on. You have no excuse. Give him a damn follow.
All right, that's right.
And when he gets merchandise, buy a damn shirt as well.
Yeah. I'll get eventually. I'll get it eventually.
Yes. Of course, thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment. But on YouTube and Castbox, this was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. Join us next Tuesday and Wednesday for new incredible interviews, and follow the show at Wrestling with E, both on X, Thread, and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Follow me personally at JamesJ993. Alright, when I say wrestling with, you say entertainment, okay?
Right.
For our special guest, Isaiah Valencia, Clicker Yacht, Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with
Entertainment.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.